Hi guys, I'm Ezelle from the upcoming Lovely to Meet You. Congratulations on a fantastic series. I'm completely gripped.
Aw.
So that's brilliant. I love it. Perhaps you could start by telling us a little bit about what the series School Spirit is all about. What can viewers kind of expect when they watch it? And I believe it's based on a graphic novel that drops this year as well, isn't it?
Mm.
Please.
Yeah. I think you should take it away.
Okay, School Spirit,
Yeah.
based on the graphic novel also dropping this year, is centers around a high school senior named Maddie Nears, played by Peyton List, who wakes up dead, essentially, and has to solve her own murder and find out what happened to her. And then she gets to tag along with a bunch of other ghosts who also have died at the school, and they all become best buds and try to help her out.
That was
And then-
really good.
And then there's also live characters, but we don't.
Yeah, there's the alive people, but we're the dead ones. And we've been dead. We're stuck in purgatory haunting the high school where we died
Yeah.
in different years.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you.
Very succinct. So, Peyton, for you, obviously you take the central role as Madison. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like, kind of preparing for that role? What drew you to it? You know, what was that like for you?
It was collaborative with Nate and Megan, the creators. I just feel like they created such a fun world, and their words are just so powerful. It wasn't that hard to feel emotional just when saying them, just when reading them. They made my job a lot easier. But we really didn't do a lot of prep, and our director Max didn't want us to rehearse at all, and that really threw me off. He just said, whatever happens on the day, you'll know what to do on the day. And he just loves like whatever comes naturally from someone, and that was an interesting experience for me because I love a rehearsal, but we didn't really establish a lot. He was like, you understand this character, you know her.
Yeah, there's a lot of
You are her,
trust.
you've got this.
Oh,
and it's just, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, maybe that sort of makes it feel really authentic as well, to your
I
character.
think so. You really have to just make really strong choices on your own.
Yeah.
And Nick, you play Charlie. You're integral in helping Madison kind of prepare for her new life and introduce her to the Split River Afterlife support group. Can you tell us a bit about him and his journey in this series?
Yeah, well, so Charlie is kind of like everybody's cheerleader, and he wants to be everyone's best friend. I don't know if he is, but he identifies as everyone's best friend. And I mean, no, I love Charlie. I think, off the page from the first 2 episodes, you kind of see him as this just happy-go-lucky little golden retriever character. And then as the season progresses, you kind of start to learn more about his backstory, which really rounds him out, and you kind of understand why maybe he's, trying to be this supportive person for all these people. He's the best. I got the best character.
He's the best character.
Yeah, it's crazy being the best.
I think obviously playing Charlie as well. I mean, you've played a queer character in Dramarama too. Was it quite important for you to have that representation for viewers when you took on this role?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up as well. I think that's always important, especially because there are queer people and there are queer people in high school, and we get to see what's interesting about Charlie is we get to see how he was a queer person in high school in the 90s and how he's a queer person in a high school setting in modern day, and the difference that is there, but still sometimes internally there's some struggle going on. But so that was awesome for me to be able to show. And then also because he gets to be funny, but he also you get to see him be sad, and I think so often queer characters and current YA shows are only one or the other. They are the funny best friend, and that's all they are, or they're the sad, broken character, and that's all they are. So to be able to do both and show that, queer people experience everything just like everybody else was great.
Oh, thank you. And sorry, your role as Rhonda, you've become a school spirit murdered in a really horrible way. Can you kind of talk to us about what she's like and what it's like to play her?
Yeah. When I got sent the script for Rhonda, I was so excited because I've always wanted to do a period piece or someone. I don't know, I always wanted to play someone from the 50s or the 40s or the 70s. And here she is, she's 63. She's like a beatnik, badass. I mean, honestly, I wish I was Rhonda when I was in high school. Like, I was like, how am I going to show them I'm cool? So that was scary. We'll see if people believe it. So she's no bullshit. You know, she's been there for 60 years and yeah, she doesn't have time for this shit and she doesn't care. And yeah, that's a really cool vibe, but she has a terrible backstory. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but I think if you've seen episode 3, then I can say stuff. But her whole storyline, her character arc is not trusting authority because someone that she really trusted did murder her. So being here, and Mr. Martin is our teacher and we're supposed to trust him. And, you know, it's like these authority figures, who do I trust? And that's kind of who Rhonda is, not trusting anyone. And so I think even having this friendship with Charlie, and it's even, do I trust that? If this was the reason I died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think you guys filmed in Vancouver, didn't you? As were there any kind of real standout moments, maybe any challenging situations during filming, or just some really fun scenes for you to play out together?
There were some hard parts when I would laugh a lot.
Yeah.
That was hard.
There, about halfway through, we started to get a little too comfortable, I think. And so we would.
It was a very different energy when they were on set than the other guy.
Do you remember the balloon scene?
Oh God.
No, that's
and
bad.
I think the hardest scenes were just we were doing a lot of night shoots and we did a full week of prom.
That
You know, 4 or 5 a.m. and us trying to act like we even know what's going on at 4 and 5 a.m. was just
Do you remember that?
insane. I have no idea what that episode's going to be like, but definitely did not feel coherent.
There's actually BTS footage.
We have got to find
scenes
it
with the 3 of us. Do you remember?
And we made the camera guy, and we were sitting on the floor.
There was like a camera guy that came over and we did he was like, can you guys just say hi to the camera? And for like 10 minutes, we
were,
just
like, spinning and
went on. We ended up on the floor, the 3 of us.
And he was just standing there, and we were like, follow us. He was like, no. Like, no.
It didn't work.
It was like 3 a.m. We're like, anyway.
It's unusable footage. I feel
Yeah.
so bad. Anytime they hired someone, they flew someone in from, you know, LA or somewhere to come do the BTS, it was all unusable. We just didn't say anything that made sense.
No.
Oh my God, we had interviewed each other, remember? For Valentine's Day? And you and I were we were like, bleep, 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 like just like not good.
Yeah, so that's your answer.
That was the challenge.
The challenging thing was
With
working
ourselves.
with ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, you know, unlike a lot of other sort of YU teenage kind of series, this one deals with the concept of afterlife, you know, in a really big way. If you could go back and as a school spirit and be able to talk to your younger self in high school, what would you say to yourself? What advice would you give yourself?
Oh.
Wow.
I would say, well, you don't need to hear anything from me right now. You have way too much confidence.
Oh.
That's, yeah.
I would say, girl, you're about to get humbled.
Whoa.
Good luck. Yeah. I would say good luck. Good luck.
I feel like I'd look me in the eye and be like, babe, you're good. Calm down. You're a psycho. Sit down, take a break, go away, go to the mountains. Just go have some water.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Just like calm down. You're so fine.
Yeah, honestly, similar vein, I think I would tell myself to chill out.
Yeah.
I think I'd be like, just relax.
I mean, you're gonna be fine.
Like, just take a chill pill.
Yeah.
Like, go to take a nap.
Take a nap, man. Just take a nap.
Go sleep.
Quick vibe.
I think, you know, obviously it's quite an emotional YA series that you've got. You know, it deals with quite a lot of emotive sort of teenage issues and other things too. What do you think are the key themes that kind of run through it? Because it's not all just proms and cheerleaders, is it?
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of scenes throughout the whole season that are so integral for the relationships between the characters, that really deepen the relationship that they have and the trust they have in one another and the trust that the audience will then have for these characters as well. And I can't really say anything about the specific.
What about, I mean, trauma?
I mean, I feel like
Megan.
I feel like Maddie's relationship with her mother and kind of feeling like she has to take on that parent role and I feel like half of the reason she wants to be alive again is just to make sure that her mom is okay. And having a parent who's just so unstable and who needs so much help, and Maddie's just so alone in dealing with this, and she hides it from all of her friends. And I feel like a lot of kids in high school can relate to just having to keep this big secret, a family secret, and you're in so much pain and you can't tell anyone. And I think like pain and secrets are just such a theme in this, and there is a lot of heavy moments, and it is pretty heartbreaking. And even Simon not feeling like he can move on and move on with his life after losing his friend because he feels guilt. And I feel like there is a lot of that when you lose someone at a really young age, like dealing with loss. Like you don't feel like you can move on and live your life, or it's yeah.
And I think a big thing Nate and Megan, the creators of the show, talked about that kind of runs through all of our characters is this idea of trauma and how to deal and work with that. And I think you see in the Afterlife support group, we have Mr. Martin, who's from the 50s, and his whole thing, he is from, 1950, is we don't need to think about that. Like, let's be here, let's be present, which I think is a really older generation thing of let's sweep it under the rug. Let's not deal with it. It happened in the past. And I think you see these newer, younger characters going, but I want to talk about what happened to me. I want to name what happened to me. I want to find out more, which I think is these, battling ideas of what to do, this idea of trauma, even this idea of therapy. Like we see these generations now, like totally comfortable on TikTok talking about these things that maybe even 20 years ago, it's like, no, it didn't happen. So I think that's kind of a beautiful thing the show brings up.
You have to face it, and you have to look it in the eye, and
and being comfortable doing that and having people around you supporting you, I think is.
Oh, well, guys, thank you so much for speaking to me. Good luck with it all. Congratulations. I loved it. And thanks for
thank
speaking
you.
to me. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.